Today, we're making Invincible as in me in Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Make sure to watch till the end so you don't miss a single step, because every step in this me is crucial to make the best me possible. Here we go. Alright, so for the face shape, I want to go with this one right here. It's a pretty long face. It's a little bit, his jaw is kind of like that, but his chin's not that wide, so we'll go with this one. It's the next closest thing. Alright, so for the hair, I think the best option is this one right here. Just make sure to change the hair color to black, because he has black hair. And we'll do just that, and that's basically the hair you want to go with. Alright, so for the eyebrows, you want to just actually go over here and make sure you hit none. So you don't want eyebrows right now because we're going to be making the mask on top, so obviously he doesn't have eyebrows over the mask, so we'll turn those off. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to use these white eyes down here somewhere. There's somewhere right here. These ones right here. We're going to make them into ovals, so we're going to stretch these out if we can, or slim them down, I mean, like that. There we go. That's pretty good. And we'll kind of space them out as we need to. I think this is fine right now. We'll make them a bit bigger, just about there. We'll go with that. Okay, his nose is kind of long. It's kind of like, maybe like this, or maybe you could go for something like this. I think this is still a little bit better, maybe. Something like, because he has like a little bit of a bend to it. So I think this one maybe, like a bit bigger. Also because it's the same nose I think I chose for Omni-Man, so they just kind of look alike as well. So I think I'll go with that, and I'll move the eyes a little bit higher. So I think that looks a little bit off, so we'll go back, move the eyes a little bit higher like that. There we go. Okay, so for the mouth, I think the best one is this one right here. Nice simple smile, just lower it a little bit, just so it doesn't look bad. I think that's perfect right there. If you want to maybe lower it a little bit more, but I think that's fine, just like that. There we go. So one thing I realized is that the eyes on the costume are actually a little bit at an angle, kind of like that right there. So we'll actually move them up like that, lower them a little bit, and keep them just over there. Alright, so for the ears, it's pretty basic ears. We'll just go with these ones right here. A little bit bigger though, we'll go with a little bit of resizing like that. I think we'll go a little bit smaller, just in the middle right there. Alright, so now the most important part is the face paint. Here we go. Let's get started. Alright, so make sure you're in Pro mode, just like this. Make sure you go to settings, put out in Pro mode, and then select Pro mode, and then choose the same settings that I have here. All this stuff. Alright, so press X, go to your nav bar here, I guess. Go to the colors, press Y on one of them. And we need to choose the right yellow. So I think the right yellow is this one right here. It's pretty bright yellow. Let me just check that real quick. It looks just fine to me. We'll go with that yellow right there. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. Change the thing to square. So what we're doing right now is we're drawing the lines that we will later fill in. So this is kind of the hard part. So what you want to do, we're going to start off here in the middle of the eyes. Alright, so make sure you're zoomed in at about the same level that I am, so it's a little bit easier for you to do this. So what you want to do is you want to draw a pretty kind of flat-ish line, like a small angle. I don't know how to describe this, man. Just about like that. Then you could just copy it over just to keep it simple if you want. I mean, you could redraw it again, but obviously I'm not an artist and I'm using a controller, so I'm just gonna press plus here after selecting it, then overlap them just like that, then press the left trigger, then just move it over there onto the other side and make sure they look just about equal. I think that's pretty good right there. We'll go with that and press A to save. So now that's two lines we have, and now what we want to do is we want to draw the lines over here and going down so we can make the the boundaries of his mask. So we'll go back to the pen tool, zoom in on this side over here, and since we have straight on, by the way, make sure you have straight on. So since we have straight on, we can just draw two different lines here. So we'll go over here for about this part of the eye, like just about there. We'll draw into this line over here, just like that. We'll go a little bit deeper, just like that. There we go. And once we get there, we'll start a new line. And then you can use the D-pad if it helps you, actually. That's what I'm doing right now. And just sort of angle it, find the right angle going down to the chin, just about. I think that's actually perfect, right about there. Also, make sure to use the preview on your left to see how it looks, because that's something you should always be doing. It really helps get an idea with the face paint. So we'll go with that right there. Okay, so now since we want the exact same thing on the other side, we'll go over here for the selection tool and just go on top of it and drag it over. Just like that. There we go. Press plus, align it just about there. There we go. Then press the left trigger. Now that it's perfectly copied over, we'll just keep moving it right until we get just about the same thing on the other side. We'll keep going, adjust a little bit more, and the main thing here is you want to make sure it looks like the lines in the middle of the eyes connect to this line over here. And if that's happening, that means you're at the right spot as well, so make sure to do that. So I think that matches up right over there. Make sure to use the grid lines as a reference. They help a lot. And then I'll press A to confirm. There we go. Alright, so now we have a few more lines to make. We're going to draw a straight line from about his hair right here. Alright, so now what you want to do is you want to go over to the smiley face icon down here, if I can just choose that, and click paint on top, and then we'll draw on top of the hair, right over here. So we'll go over here and draw on top. There we go. Draw a few lines like this, draw a straight line down there, And we'll draw another straight line on the other side. Same thing. Go to the edge here. You could copy and paste it, but like, come on, it's not a straight line. It's not that bad. There we go. And then obviously with the color in the edges as well. All right, so now we're going to draw around the ear. I'm going to bring a line in this way. So use a D-pad or whatever. Or you can even use a stylus. People are buying styluses for this game, which is pretty cool. So you can do that. We're going to draw a line just about till the edge there. And we'll draw another one to connect these two parts here. Because obviously we want the ear out of the mask, because that's just how it is in the show as well. His ears are out of the mask. So we'll go down a little bit more, angle it a little bit, just about there. There we go. Very nice, dude. That looks great. Alright, so to make this easy for myself, I'm going to go to the selection tool and just select from basically where we drew that line in the ear, right about there, and copy downward, or select downwards, I mean, and then press plus. Line them up, go down a little bit, just about there, left trigger, and just move it around. And basically, since we have the line from before over there, which serves as a reference point in this case, we'll just go just on top of it, and we'll know exactly where to line this up. So we'll go just onto that yellow line right there, and just like that, as you can see, it matches up perfectly. We'll press A. Okay, so now that we've done all the outlining, we're going to go over here, and we're going to get to the sides over here that we missed that aren't actually colored yellow. We're just going to use the pixels here, zoom in a lot by the way, use the pixels here as a reference for where you want to cover the black. So we see black here, we'll draw there, draw there, draw there. Also make sure to turn off straight, because that will be a little bit annoying to do it straight. And keep it on, there's no other options. I have these settings right now for this part. Just turn straight off and keep going down, and eventually all you want to do is cover all those black pixels that are coming out of the hair. Also, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more me tutorials just like this one. Alright, so make sure that when you go to the smiley face over here and select it, that you are on paint behind. Because unfortunately, even though I tried to see if I could paint on top of this hair right here, but it does not let you, even if you choose the other option. So we'll use that. And what we want to do right now is so when I try to fill, I go over here, I click fill, it fills in a whole square, which obviously we don't want because that looks nothing like Invincible. Click straight again, and we're going to just connect the eyes. So the lines between the eyes, we got to just box them in. It doesn't really matter what line you make. So at the end of the day, this won't be seen anyways. So just like that. Because as you can see in the preview over here, it is invisible. There we go. We'll go down there, just like that. Connect them just so you can fill. All right. So now we'll go to the fill tool, and it fills perfectly. Look at that fill, guys. That looks great. All right, so now we're actually going to add an outline just to finish this off. Go over here, make sure you have black selected, and go back to the pen tool. Choose one of the thinner options. I think this one's the best. We'll go with that one right there. And make sure to check outline. So now that we have outline check, you can literally draw really, really badly, but it just sticks with the outline. So we'll go over here. We'll go just about down, just like that. And as you can see, we slowly have this really nice, really thin outline showing up. So we'll make sure to cover everything on the edges here, get that full outline done, just like that. And we're missing a little bit in the middle. We'll just go back over here towards that edge right there. And that right there is everything for the face paint. So once you're done with the outline, press plus to save. Alright, so that's Invincible as a me. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below. And make sure to like and subscribe for more Tomodachi life just like this. We'll see you guys in the next one. Cracking out.